Hello YouTube, this is Majid Apart, and today I'd like to give a quick tribute to Ozzy Osbourne. We obviously got the news yesterday, the 22nd of July 2025, that Ozzy Osbourne had passed away, with a post from Sharon and the rest of the family. Obviously, tributes have poured in by their thousands by fans and bands alike. It is great to see how much the metal and rock and just music community in general have all banded together to pay tribute to this wonderful, awesome legend of a musician. And I don't think people realise how much of an effect that Ozzy Osbourne has in fact had on people. I didn't even realise it until pretty much today, thinking about it, because bands like Metallica, Pantera, like the list goes on and on and on, were all influenced by Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath. And then those bands have then influenced other bands to where we are today. So it all basically stems from Ozzy Osbourne to a point, and that is so freaking cool. And the effect that has had has basically led me on a metal journey. I didn't really realize it until thinking about it, that he basically is the start point for my metal journey. I listened to like a couple of like a Linkin Park and Korn, but it was Ozzy Osbourne was the one that really sort of started my journey off. For me, it was the Essential Ozzy Osbourne album that was released in like 2005, sort of like a compilation CD, and that sort of really what started me listening to heavier music and just working my way through other bands from there. My first gig was Ozzy Osbourne live at Wembley in 2007. Was my first Ozzy gig, and it was absolutely fantastic. Um, and then, again, that started my my live concert journey as well. So Ozzy Osbourne, for me, actually, I didn't realise how much of an influence sort of he has had for me as well, which is really, really cool. And to not also think about that, it's all the sort of TV work that he's done. You've got the Osbournes, you've got Jack and Ozzy's World Detour. The amount of times that I've come home, I've had a shit day at work, and I can just come home, put on the Osbournes, just enjoy watching it, and to completely forget about everything that's gone on during the day. With World Detours, just coming home, getting some food, sitting down, enjoying watching the TV with my wife, and finding out what Ozzy and Jack are gonna do next in their crazy adventures. I got very lucky that I managed to get the final show for the final tour tickets in Birmingham in 2017, and it was a fantastic experience. I managed to get tickets with my wife and my dad, who introduced me to Black Sabbath, and we wanted to do the final show of the final tour. Obviously, at that point, it wasn't the final show. I didn't manage to get tickets to um, the very last one a few weeks ago on the 5th of July. Obviously, due to demand, uh, tickets were obviously very hard to get hold of, but I will still have that memory, and I've actually managed to get it on um, Blu-ray as well, so I can always look back and enjoy the time that we had watching that as well. So overall, for me, I find that he has had a massive impact on the music that I listen to. Metal is, for me, basically a way of life. I listen to it pretty much non-stop, and most of the bands that I listen to have been influenced either by Ozzy Osbourne or by someone that was influenced by Ozzy Osbourne. So, Ozzy, thank you very much for everything that you have done for this music business, for the metal community, and just for me. I didn't really think about it that much, but thinking back on it, if it wasn't for Ozzy Osbourne, then my metal journey wouldn't have begun, and I wouldn't listen to probably we wouldn't have half the bands that I probably listen to now. So thank you very, very much for all the things that you've done. If anyone actually watches this from the Osbourne family, I'd like to officially give my condolences, and just to Ozzy himself, rest in peace, man. It's rest in peace.